All right, so we're staying on top of the breaking news in the Middle East right now. Joining us here in the newsroom is John Franchi, who spent 29 years with the CIA, including time in the Middle East. John, thanks for coming in and sharing your expertise.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we know the Ayatollah was killed over the weekend.
Right.
That certainly leaves a power vacuum. Right. You heard the president over the weekend calling on the Iranian people to step up and take charge of their government. So I have a multi-part question here. A, is that likely to happen? And B, what comes next? This leaves a big power vacuum.
I think that's a huge question. I think that's the hope, is that the people will be able to step up and be able to take over, because the last thing we want is another Iraq where we come in, we basically wipe the slate clean, and then we have nothing but revolution and people going after one another, and then we own it. I think we don't want to own this.
And we were on the ground in Iraq for a decade.
Exactly, and I think that's not the goal here. It's similar to what happened in Venezuela, but it'll be a little bit different.
But I had also read over the weekend that to effect regime change, you almost always have to put boots on the ground. Is that right?
Yeah, you do. I mean, but I think part of the hope here is that the assaults will be so severe that the middle people, like the middle security services, those people will step up and be able to say, okay, enough is enough. We're going to take over, and we're going to bring a moderate regime in here to do whatever it is you want, United States or the West.
There were a lot of questions, and there have been, and will continue to be a lot of questions about why this war now. Is it your sense that the Iranian government was in probably one of the weakest states it's been in for the better part of the last 4 decades? It
is and it isn't. I mean, I think they had a lot of popular uprising, but it is as strong as it's ever been internally with the security services and the apparatus that was in place. So it's one of those things where they were facing internal problems from their own people, but it wasn't ready to go. It wasn't gonna fall or anything like that.
But did the age of the Ayatollah come into play here? I mean, he is 86. They were going to have to face some kind of a transition in power there at some point, so maybe the experts in the U.S. and Israel thought it was a good opportunity to move?
I don't think that has really anything to do with it, honestly. I think it has more to do with their nuclear program, their missile programs, and their support for proxy states. I mean, those were the existential threats that we're facing, all of us in the West. So.
Do you think this will lead to negotiations in some form?
Oh, I think negotiations will happen, absolutely. I think you'll have, because someone will come up, they'll find somebody to talk to, and that'll become whatever the new government's going to be.
Okay. Our thanks to John Franchi. Thanks for coming in.
So much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Erica, to you.